Hey guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge coming at you. You might be wondering what's up with this background again. I finally got it back. The reason it was gone was because my daughter and her two children, plus the one that's in the womb, getting ready to pop any day now. My daughter was visiting us for almost a week, 3 or 4 days. And her husband was off at a conference for his work. So we had a great time. So I had to move to a different room to make my videos, and that's why we had that blah background. I'm glad to be back here now. So today we're taking a look at this. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for supporting this channel by viewing my videos, letting the commercials play, the advertising. Sure, that really helps me out too. Anything that you guys do to support me, thumbs up, subscribing, click on that bell so that you can get notifications for every video. So many of you guys do all kinds of good stuff. Patreon supporters, you guys are the best. And we're looking at this knife today. This is the Real Steel Knives H6-S1. This is the second Real Steel H6-S1 that I've owned. And hey, this is really nice. Real Steel Knives did send this knife to me to review. Thank you very much, Real Steel. The first one I bought, and the first one and this one are just very slightly different. And so I will leave a link up in this corner at the very end of this video so that you can see the full review that I did of the H6-S1 that I had at first. Nutshell difference, this one's got a little bit of G10 on the thumb studs, and the other one did not. Were there other differences? I don't think so, but we'll see. So what we have here is their smaller H6 knife. Most of their H6 knives, the Blue Sheep, the Elegance, the Free, the Plus, well, they've got a number of H6 knives. If you haven't seen my video that I released yesterday, yesterday morning I did a video about 3 of the H6 knives, plus more information that I received recently to review. Check that out. That one will be up in this corner at the very end of this video. So here for the overview video that I made yesterday, here for the H6-S1 that I reviewed about a year ago. But for now, we're going to take a good close look at this knife, but we're basically going to do an overview because we do have the full review that you can see from the previous videos. So stick around for the H6-S1 coming at you right now. So here's the back of the knife, the frame lock side. We've got this extra locking system. I think they call it their plus lock or something. What it does is we've got a disc here that slides between these two spaces, there and there. And the way that works is when the knife is open, the liner lock drops down or drops over into place. And so then this can slide over, and now you can't unlock the knife. You pull this back and you can unlock the knife now to close it. I never use that feature, but some people like it. And there you go. The good thing about it is that it's fairly stiff to move that. So at least on this one, and only once on the other H6-S1 that I had, did I accidentally engage that lock. So for those people that don't, care or don't care to use it, it's not really in your way. And those people that want to use it, hey, it's very, very functional, works quite well. We've got this pocket clip. That's a flip over. It's the deep carry pocket clip. That's what I wanted to say. The end here is folded over, so you've got no pointy edges to make hot spots in your hand. And, it's just a nice big stainless steel frame lock. I think this is 420J2, the stainless steel that's used for this part of the handle. The blade is Sandvik 14C28N, which is a really good mid-grade, mid-budget kind of steel for a price that is actually a low-budget price on a knife. So, hey, you really, really like that. Torx screws all over the place. We've got a tube for the lanyard right there. So we've got a tube for the lanyard right there that goes all the way through. And on this side, it's got sort of hourglass shape. Open pillar construction, so the pillars there, they've got an hourglass shape as well. That's really nice. And on this side, there's just G10. Really good. This G10 is plenty strong enough. It's a really high-end plastic. Yeah, it's plastic, but it's a very high-end plastic these days. Torx on this side. Pivot that's not free spinning, so that's really good. And you've got your T8 Torx screw there to undo it if you want to. Frame lock lockup is perfect. It's exactly where I want a brand new knife to lock up. You've got this extra jimping right here on the release, so your thumb really engages well when it's time to release the knife. That works great. We've got washers in the pivot, a nice phosphor bronze washers, and they're very good action, really smooth. For those of you guys who are really enamored with ball bearings, a lot of budget knives with ball bearings, if you take your time and you feel it when you close it, you can feel those balls going, and you can feel it. If you just lightly hold the steel on your blade and you slide it back and forth, you'll be able to feel it. It takes a very good set of ball bearings to not have a problem. And I really wish the budget knife makers would not use super budget ball bearings. Instead, use good, washers. Phosphor bronze washers beat nasty ball bearings any day. But of course, there's lots of good ball bearings as well, which I really, really like. Some brands have got nice ceramic ball bearings, and all kinds of other things. Real Steel's got some good ball bearing knives too. But in this case, they chose to use some really nice washers. And I'll show you the inside of a knife. I'll show you a picture of that right now. That's that. So I talked about the lockup there. No blade play, side to side, up and down from the factory. I've made 0 adjustments on this knife. When you close it, the alignment is perfect. It's perfectly centered. Really like that. G10 is just a flat slab with, a chamfered edge. Nice texture on there, just aggressive enough to give a good grip in the hand, but not too much. And then the G10 has got a little bit of texture on the thumb stud there, and it's just great for flipping open that knife. It works awesome. And I've got to admit something to you. I haven't done it in any other video. I grew up left-handed. But in the last almost 3 years since I've been doing, 2.5 years since I've been making these videos, I do almost everything on these videos right-handed, and my right-handed has become dominant in terms of knives. And see, there you go, got it that time. But that other time on the video there, I didn't. There you go again. I didn't quite flick it out because it does take a little bit of muscle memory to learn how to flip knives open properly and well and smoothly. So if you're a novice with knives, and you can see how easy it is for a guy like me to grab a knife and just flip it open, close it one-handed or whatever, that takes time. It takes effort. It takes learning muscle memory, and just doing it many times will get you there. And so even if you're, I grew up left-handed, I've already found my right hand to be better at my knives than my left hand. Isn't that odd? But it just takes a little bit of focus on, and you can get it done right. And you can see clearly this knife is easy to open and close right-handed or left-handed, no problem. And I did a test. As you can see, there's no left-hand option for the pocket clip. And I can deploy this knife almost exactly the same speed out of my left pocket or my right pocket. It makes very, very little difference at all with this pocket clip just on the one side. One danger that some people talk about and are very worried about is that, if this is in my pocket seam is on this side, and my pocket is open over here, that this knife will open up in my pocket, and then I'll put my hand in and cut myself. If that's a concern for you, I would say, always put this in your right-hand pocket, or get a knife that's got a tip-down pocket clip. A lot of the H6 knives do have a tip-down pocket clip option, and we're going to see some of those in future videos. Or if you look at that video the overview that I did yesterday on Sunday. Some of those have got tip down or tip up. If you really are safety conscious, wear a knife tip down. I've got another video about tip down or tip up. You can look it up if you need to, or just look up my channel and find it. Deployment for me for tip down, tip up is almost the same. So it really, a lot of people make arguments on it's much too slow to deploy a blade if it's tipped down in your pocket. You know, it just hasn't proven true in my case when I've actually taken the time to set up a stopwatch and measure it. Is it slower? Ever so slightly, barely measurable. Let's get back to the topic of this knife. Sorry about that. We've got a nice sharpener's choil here, full flat grind. Liang Gang design, it says on here. Liang Gang is a Chinese designer who I think is probably the best Chinese designer in China. The blade's got a nice drop point here, a bit of a swedge, really nice belly, flat area back here, a riser with some jimping on it, and just a super comfortable knife. This guard that's on the end of the handle and the choil on the front, lock your hand in. My hands are large, bordering on extra large, and this knife fits perfectly in that hand. You can see right there how it comes just at the end. So reverse grip, it fits. So if your hands are extra large or larger, you might want to get one of the other knives other than the H6-S1. Almost all the other H6 knives are larger. And you can look at that other video that's up in this corner at the end, and you can see it there as well. But if you like this design, boy, this is a really nice design. It locks in the hand really well, and it just works really well. Let me quickly give you some of the sizes for the S1. The cutting edge is 8.3 centimeters. The blade length, so handle to the tip of the blade, is 8.6 centimeters. The blade thickness is 3 millimeters. The blade depth is 2.8 centimeters. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is less than 0.5 millimeter. Awesome. The grind angle on the show side here, that says real steel, it's 20.5 degrees. And on this side, it's 24.2 degrees. So it's always different one side to the other. Well, not always, but 99% of the time, because they're hand sharpened. That's not bad. The handle length is 11 centimeters. The grip area between my thumbs right there is 8.8 centimeters. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip or this extra lock extension that extends, that's 1 centimeter. The handle depth, its biggest right here in the middle, is 2.6 centimeters. The knife depth with the blade closed, like in your pocket, is this size right here, 3.3 centimeters. And for the total length of the knife, my vernier calipers don't go long enough. So this one actually measured in inches, 8.425 inches. So basically 8.5 inches total. And we've got almost 3.3 inch blade. Yeah. 3.25 inch cutting edge, almost 3.3 inch blade. So the proportions are great. The balance is great. Perfect spot for it. Very, very comfortable knife. It weighs 112 grams, 3.9 ounces. The weight is awesome. How much does this knife cost? Well, you can get it at Amazon or at realsteelknives.com. And it depends on what options you get on it. And it depends, like this one with the G10 on it, you can find in the United States at Amazon.com, $44.40. There's a version that's got a carbon fiber handle, solid carbon fiber, not just a laminate. It's genuine carbon fiber all the way through and through. That's an extra $5, $49.99. In other places, it's $55 or whatever. Amazon.ca, you can get the carbon fiber one for $70.66 Canadian. This one with the G10 in euros, Amazon Germany, Amazon some other places, it's around 46 euros. That's the price. Unfortunately, I didn't find this on amazon.co.uk. So that's roughly the price range. I think the fit and finish on this thing is awesome. It looks good, nice stonewash blade. I think you can get it in a satin blade as well, the S1. I don't think you can get the S1 in a black wash or a black coated blade, but I might be wrong. You look around and see what you can find. If you use the Real Steel link, I get 0 credit for it, but they might have a sale going on right now, so go ahead and buy it from them. Just let them know that Canadian Cutting Edge sent you. And if you buy it from if you want to buy this from Amazon, please use my links below to open your Amazon browser to the Real Steel Knives H6 page and find the knife that way. That way I get a little bit of support and you don't pay a single penny extra. Pros and cons on this, please watch that other video, the full review that I've got up in this corner after this. But there's basically nothing wrong with this. Like I said, I gave you how it looks, how it locks up. Everything's awesome on this knife. Highly, highly recommend it. There's no reason to say no to this knife unless you don't like the styling. Functionally, it works very well. The steel is a very good steel, and the build quality is very high. And so if you don't like frame locks, get a different knife. There's a lot of liner lock versions of the H6, or get a totally different knife altogether. Real Steel's got a load of choices. But this knife, great carry knife. And as soon as I sold my first H6-S1, I felt bad about it. So I'm going to keep this one. There's no way, well, almost no way that I'm going to get rid of this. So I want to thank all you guys. Thank you especially to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. I'm going to do a Patreon giveaway very soon, because it's the end of the month coming up. And one of you guys is going to win one of the knives that I looked at this month. If you are not a Patreon supporter and you would like to be, go to patreon.com/CCE for Canadian Cutting Edge and sign up. If you donate $2 US a month or more, your name will be put into a monthly draw. Right now, you've only got 29 competitors because I've only got 29 supporters. So you've got a 1 out of 30 chance if you join up today, and if nobody else joins up, of winning that knife. Make sure you join before the end of October, or you'll have to be in November's draw, which goes at the end of November. I do want to say one thing. All of these Torx screws are made very well. Nice high tolerances. Very nice. Very comfortable. I forgot to add that in earlier. Beautiful fine stonewash. Some of the other H6 knives have got a more coarse kind of stonewash, but this one's a really nice fine stonewash. And you can get it in different color handle scales. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and all the good things you guys do for Canadian Cutting Edge. It means a lot to me. Remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.